Your setup should look like this by now. We are now back to the waffle pattern, and in the first round of our waffle pattern, which we knit as always on the right side, we will cast on 2 stitches per needle. That means we go back in between here, from bottom to top, and simply knit the added stitch on the right. As mentioned, 2 stitches per needle. I always pick up a new stitch after the second stitch and before the second to last stitch. But that's actually, if you look at it that way, completely up to you. You will do this for 1 round now. In the second round, knit all the stitches purlwise in our waffle pattern, and then we'll meet again. Then I'll show you how to make the thumb hole. See you then. In the third round of our waffle pattern, we knit the first 2 needles normally, alternating 1 stitch knit and 1 stitch purl. And with the third needle, we will then create our thumb hole. That's really quite simple. And you can also install for both sides of the thumb hole at the third needle. After reaching the third needle, you knit 10 stitches. Completely normal in your waffle pattern. After you have knitted the 10 stitches, take a new needle and pick up 2 stitches here. One, 2. They are going to the side. The next 5 stitches we will leave unworked. It works like this. You take a stitch marker, or if you don't have one on hand, a safety pin will do as well. Just insert it here and pick up the next 5 stitches. For example, if you are knitting cuffs for men or have quite wide thumbs, I would recommend casting on 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll close here. So, our work looks like this now. We need to now address these 5 stitches or 6 stitches. If you have cast on 6 stitches, pick them up again from the top, so that we have roughly the same number of stitches at the top as at the bottom and can just continue knitting. It's quite simple, you just need to pay a little attention to the 2 stitches. Don't let them slip off the needle, and best to push them to the back. Get some yarn, make a loop like when casting on stitches, and cast on 5 stitches. One, don't pull too tight, go back in, grab the thread, just like when picking up stitches. Two, 3, 4, and 5. Good, you have cast on 5 stitches. Now you are knitting here. Your waffle needs to go further, you have to be careful now. You have now finished a right turn here, which is basically left, right, left, right, left. That means that here, where it continues again, it will be a right stitch. Right, left. So I'll show you the whole thing again. Here, our thumbs come out afterwards, as we set aside 5 stitches, and with the 5 above, we will continue knitting the rounds. In the end, when our cuff is basically finished in height, we pick up stitches here again and knit our thumb part. Once we finish the left stitch, we will complete our third row in the usual way. Good. We have now reached the 4th round on our 3rd needle and are knitting our waffle rounds. Now you just have to deal with the newly cast on stitches. That's left, right, and now the new stitches are coming. They are very tight at the beginning. It can be a bit exhausting to knit them, especially for beginners. But that also means that we won't have any gaps. Then I push in from the other side, piercing us a little further. That's actually the hardest part about our sleeve. The recording and knitting up is actually done quite quickly. So, once you have picked up your stitches, simply slide them back from the external needle onto your original 3rd needle, so that you have 4 needles with stitches on them and 1 for knitting. So, I'll show it to you again here. This is the hole for us and the thumb. We will then pick up the stitches here at the end, and here the 2 on the sides and 5 respectively. 6 above still. Then you have enough space for your thumb. Next, you will knit the 1st and 2nd rounds of your height report normally in red again. As I said, the stitches are now put on hold, which means it just continues in rounds like before. After that, you knit the yellow round again, so for 6 rounds you always do 1 rib, and then you repeat our waffle pattern. After you have knitted the 1 rib in yellow, you then knit the waffle pattern again, and finish it as always with the 2nd round, so the purl round. And how you knit the cuff and finish the work, I will show you then. So my dear ones, you are almost done now. You will now knit 10 more rounds, always using our 2x2 ribbing from the cuff. That means for 10 rounds, 2 stitches knit and 2 stitches purl. Right, left, left always alternating. 2 rights, 2 lefts for over 10 rounds. After that, you just need to finish the work and you're basically done. Then we just need to do the thumb. Goes really quickly, and I'll show you how it's done, of course. Then knit your 10 rounds and we'll see each other again. Your chair should now look like this. Now you just need to finish off at the top. Finishing off works. So, show yourselves quickly. You knit the 1st stitch normally on the right, knit the 2nd stitch on the right, and now lift the 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. Now you have knitted the 1st stitch again, knit 1 stitch on the right, and lift the back stitch over the front stitch. Pull it over like that and knit another stitch. Do
do this now, the whole round until the last stitch. See, here are our already marked stitches. You need to be a bit careful here. It's best to work as loosely as possible so that the work doesn't tighten up too much at the top. It's simply more comfortable to wear. If you still have the last stitch on the needle, cut the yarn tail long enough for weaving in and simply pull the needle up through it.
So now your work is actually done. You still need to sew it up now. For that, you take a needle. I am turning the work around. You will still need to sew in all the threads. Of course, I'll show it to you one more time now. It goes in from the top. So, this is to ensure that you don't get tangled up with the threads. I'm going to go a bit further in here so that it tightens up a bit more at the top. So, now you just always go with the flow. And just pull it along here when we stitch and sew. I would recommend doing it about 6 to 8 times to ensure that everything is really secure. Tight and done. If you do it here with all the threads, then you can cut them. So, in our last step, we can now take care of the thumb tab. First, we will pick up our 5 cast-off stitches. That means we simply slide them off the stitch marker onto the needle. 1. Take your time so that none of you falls behind. 2, 3, 4, and 5. First needle. Take a needle and cast on 2 times 5 stitches, 1 time 5 stitches, and 1 time 6 stitches. You have a total of 16 stitches. Recording is very easy. You are taking the red thread here, stretch from bottom to top. And now cast on 6 stitches. 2, a little fuzzy, take your time so that no holes appear. 4. And now again with the cabin needle 6 stitches. So that you have an even number of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6. Have our thumb. Third round, we started our waffle samples. Start with the thumb with the third round of the waffle pattern. Always alternating between right and left. We are now knitting the first round. We need thread again. Always alternating knit and purl stitches. Beginning is a bit tight, but that's a good thing. Eng means no holes. Always right, left, right. Then you switch the needle again. And to the left. A bit fuzzier because we have relatively few stitches on the needles. But it's okay. Left, right, left. And it really happens very quickly. It really goes quite quickly. It really goes very quickly. It really goes quite quickly. Left, right, left. And so on. Good. We are now essentially knitting the same pattern as at the end here. We have now started the third round of our waffle samples, as we have also knitted out the thumb here. That means you're now knitting the fourth one. Then again the first and second, as always. Then just knit a bit more. I'll write it down for you so you can remember it better. Just 3 more rounds of our ribbing pattern. So always 2 stitches knit, 2 stitches purl. And then you just loosen it up at the top, as I just showed you. And just like that, your cap is ready. I'll show you that it can be done, and then right after that. So, and your grip hand warmers are finished. If you like my video, I've also included the matching socks for you. They are knitted in the same pattern and therefore are very easy to make.